We're back, SFA News Live. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Sharon, for really giving us a great look at Seeds and Chips. We're going to continue that conversation. We're going to talk to some of the people. Now, what's interesting about Seeds and Chips right here at the Fancy Food Show is that this is the future. We're seeing thousands and thousands of great products that you can taste and so on. But I urge you to go over to the Seeds and Chips area right here, right outside of the hall 1D that we're at. And you can really see where the food industry is going from an agriculture standpoint, from a technology standpoint. And with me, I got Mr. Seeds and Chips. Marco, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks to you, Phil.
And thank you for bringing Seeds and Chips to New York. I was very fortunate. I was at the Seeds and Chips in Milan, and all that I can say is, wow. You know, when you look at the kind of education programs that you had, the kind of community that was built, the kind of conversations about what we need to do to, I don't want to be dramatic, but save the planet,
yeah.
and all that. What you've done is significant, and thank you for that.
Thank you. Thanks to you. We are very honored to be here, and I would like to thank Phil and the Specialty Food Association. Our partnership is very important. This huge event has, for us, is an opportunity to share our vision because without being dramatic, but we are facing big challenges: the growth population, the climate change, and the urbanization, etc. So we need to have the discussion, the talking open with the food industry as much often as we can. So this is our role.
So let's talk about the vision. Let's start there with the vision, and then also why it's important for the people who are attending here in May to head over to Milan and know what the future is going to look like. So what is the vision of Seeds and Chips?
So we think that we need a much more sustainable food system. So sustainability is the key word. We cannot move for sure in a short term, but we need to move there. And sustainability is a simple word, but it represents a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So we can talk about the ingredients of the food, how they are produced. So with technologies is coming to us with a huge support, and we will have amazing solution for precision agriculture that can be used to produce in a much more sustainable way. But also packaging. We are facing and we are seeing on the media every single day what we have done in the last 100 years. So we have to stop, we have to move with a different approach. I am very optimistic because I think we can face these big challenges, but we have to work all together. Our platform has been built to put all the stakeholders together. The policymakers, the media, the companies, young people, students, start-uppers, all together. We believe no one has the recipe in his hands. So if we talk together, I think we can accelerate the innovation process.
Well, one of the things that I was so impressed with, and I know it was your idea, that every session was introduced by a teenager.
Yeah.
And yeah, tell us about that. I just love that. You talk about getting the youth involved, and that's more than talk. You're really getting them involved.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. I appreciate, because it's something very in the deep of my heart. I believe that we need to have young people at the table. And we started since the first edition having at least one speaker under 30, but that was a rule I fixed since the beginning. At the second edition, every year we try to do better and to be much more innovative, as we talk about innovation. Yeah. And I decided, as I was inspired by two young people, a girl of 12 years old and a boy, 13. And they created their own startup with their parents because they wanted to change something. And so I said, this generation, but they belong to the Gen Z, I think they are stronger than millennials. So
Yes, I would
we
agree.
need to have
Yeah.
with a role at our event. So we decided to offer every single session with a teenager, and we call them Teen Novator. And they have 1 minute. They can share their dreams, their ideas, their thoughts, etc. And everything every time I listen their speeches, I'm impressed.
I am too, and they were very articulate. Some of the people that were up there, you would have thought that they've been speaking for decades,
Absolutely.
and so smart and so so interesting, their stories and how they're passionate about food and about the environment. The other thing that I was taken by was the number of discussions and suppliers about water,
Yeah.
talking about clean water
Yeah.
and how important that was, because we always talk about pesticides and GMOs and everything else, but it all starts with the water, and we have limited resources of clean water.
Absolutely, but I think that the reason why the young generation are playing, will play a huge role in the food system is because of their knowledge about the connections between the environment and the climate change of the food system. So they want to play their role. They want to give an impact in their decisions and etc. And water, we cannot live without water. Water is everywhere. We need clean water for everybody. We cannot accept that right now we have 7 billion people on the planet, but 800 million are not having clean water or food every single day. The problem, Phil, is that this terrible number is supposed to increase.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we and the climate change, create a negative circle. So we have to stop. Water resources are very precious. Precious. How do you say? And so it's very important to talk about that and ask people to pay attention to preserve the environment and also to find solutions to to clean water. We have the solutions. We
Yes.
can't get
Yes.
water from here. We just need to invest on that and having always attention on these issues.
And also a lot of discussion there about vertical farming.
Yeah.
And when you think about here in the US, so I live in California, as you know. So somebody in New York that buys lettuce is buying lettuce in a supermarket that was grown in California. So think about the impact of taking lettuce all the way cross country with the trucking and everything else, the carbon footprint that's created. Why not in Midtown Manhattan that has so much office space, take 10 floors of an office building and put a vertical farm in there and deliver it, an hour after it's picked?
You are right. I don't want to make a mistake, but if I'm not wrong, 1/3 of the tomatoes that are sold in California come from Canada.
Yes.
And so, we respect Canada agriculture for
Yeah,
sure,
of course.
but California has all the, the tools
Right.
to produce. So this is another point of view we should figure out. Globalization is very important, but sometimes we are impacting the environment because of I don't know what.
Price. I would say it's price.
It's price.
If I look today, and we have some severe food safety problems, but if I look today at beef, cows are birthed here in the U.S., then shipped to Mexico to be raised,
Yeah.
then shipped to Canada to be slaughtered and packed, because it's cheaper than doing it all here.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Which is why we have Seeds and Chips. And Marco, thank you so much for your vision, for putting this together. Much success, and you're going to help all of us have a safer, happier, cleaner planet and better food supply.
We hope. Thank you to you, Phil, and have a happy 4th of July.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
We're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. Don't forget, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, throughout here on the Javits Center, and also these interviews, important interviews with folks like Marco, you can see on the SFA website forever. And also make your plane reservations now. You want to go to Milan. What's the date in Milan is coming
May
up?
7, 9.
May 7th through 9, 2019. I will see you there.